DeMeco Ryans, you heard that promo there as we jumped out of the break. Said, "Hey man, Nick Caley said this guy has the ability to tailor the offense towards the players and get us over, as he said, the hump." And I do wonder where fans are. 713-572-4610. Those of you on the Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer text line. Those who are on YouTube and Twitch, I see you, Kick Rocks, and Sally in the building. Everybody over there. Now that we've seen DeMeco, we know, and I'm taking him for his word, right? As he said, this is his hire, man. He made this decision. It was a tough decision. He wouldn't make this decision. He made the Nick Caley decision. He also made the Bobby Slowick decision, right? That was his guy he brought with him from San Francisco. And clearly year one, it was a home run decision, right? Based off what happened with C.J. Stroud, what happened with the offense, and this guy getting head coaching opportunities at least once every year, won a home run. Obviously, last year, he felt he had to make the tough decision to make the change on Bobby Slowick. How are you feeling now that we're already here year two, and it's his second selection here, and based off what he brought in, and like I said, you hear from the people as well, how are you feeling in your confidence that DeMeco can pick the guy that this offense needs?
Well, look, I not good. I mean, the confidence level is low. It's when we hired DeMeco Ryans, a defensive-minded head coach, I immediately said the fear is that you get a turnstile in the wrong direction at the offensive coordinator position. Even if the guy wins, he moves on, you got to find the next replacement. And it could be in a year like this year where you find yourself without an offensive coordinator and there's nobody out there. The old heads that are on the streets, they want to take the year off, and Mike McCarthy. Doug Peterson doesn't want to coach. You know, all these, a couple of other guys got, Chip Kelly's making too much money, right? So it's one of those scenarios where you look up and you fire a guy and you go, well, damn, what am I going to do now, right? This is precisely why the defensive-minded head coach from jump scared the hell out of me. And now that we're 2 years into this thing, everybody out there, all the listeners out there that called me every name in the book when I said it, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you that I don't like to hire DeMeco Ryans. I'm just telling you this is life with a defensive-minded head coach, is you're constantly trying to get the most important piece, the best support you can, which is your quarterback. You found the quarterback, and now – unfortunately, you can't find the play caller. Right. And when DeMeco, in DeMeco we trust, he hires his first guy. It's his homeboy. Again, not some established, older, pelt on the wall, coaches with an iron fist, my way or the highway type offensive coordinator. He hires a guy from the system that he's been locked at the hip with in San Francisco, and we all just got to sit here and trust, right? One good year, one bad year, DeMeco, boom, boots him out the door, and here we are hiring another guy from that Shanahan, McVay, Kubiak understudy, up-and-coming type of guy, and now we just supposed to sit here and trust again. Yeah, I don't have confidence. I don't have much confidence at all, to be honest with you. Whether it's in DeMeco or it's in Nick or it's in Nick Caley, I don't. The confidence is not real high that this is going to show, that this is going to bear much fruit in the sense of improved production offensively.
Because, yeah, there is a wait-and-see element, which I think we are squarely in. But sometimes the wait-and-see –
it's the only option you have.
But sometimes it is made different if you feel like, all right, I've got a real good – I got a good feel that based off history or whatever, the direction they're going to go is going to work out.
Yeah, and I tell you, you talked about the confidence in DeMeco. I don't know any of the details, but right now, if I had to bet on kind of, a 30,000-foot view of what's going on, the first time, you got it. Hire your guy. He hires his guy, and it's Bobby Slowick. And this time, it's hard. It's hard for me to not go Nick Caserio.
Let's collab on this thing a little bit more.
Let's go your route. Who do you got? Well, we got the old New England, good buddy of mine, New England, John Carroll guy from New England, O-line coach. Let's just make him we already got him the assistant. Let's make him the the O-line coach. Let's go get this guy. It's been he's been hot lately. In a time, by the way, let's make sure we include all the context. Yes, he's been hot. He's turned down some interviews. I get it, but we're living in an era where anybody and everybody that knows Nick Caserio gets an interview. And I'm not shooting at Nick. I'm just saying, generally speaking, like if you have a connection to an organization, we got guys out here that have no business getting head jobs, that ain't even coached in the league getting interviews, right? So let's not oversell a guy being a hot candidate at the head coach position. We're interviewing anybody and everybody under the sun in today's NFL. So, but it looks to me like this is Nick's turn to go out and get his guys in here and do it his way, do it the New England way, because the San Francisco way didn't work out. There's too many dots. The stars align in that direction. You can't tell me that Nick Caserio didn't have a very, very, very strong – all of a sudden, a guy in DeMeco and Nick that the first thing they do every time they speak is, man, we work together. We do things together. Now all of a sudden Nick's nowhere to be found. Yeah, no, it's like I don't care what anybody says. It's hard for me to not go to a place where it's Nick's turn to make the decision and see if he can't get the offense.
I definitely think this is a much more collaborative effort in figuring out who the coach is. And I don't have a problem with it, right? Like
no,
after, you know what I mean? After it's Slowick and that didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah, maybe we. And he talked about it, talked to other coaches. I'm certain he's got a relationship with Sean McVay. Certain he's probably talked to his mentor and Kyle Shanahan. I'm sure he's talked to multiple guys. Listen, I trust that DeMeco, for the most part, like, can identify good coaches. I feel like he's been around enough of them so much, from Kubiak to Andy, Chip Kelly, even in Philly, and then obviously with Kyle in San Francisco. To me, and still we have not seen everything shake out. We don't know if the staff will completely stay the same. Right now, we have only heard of the one change, and it's not really that much of a change because he was on the staff last year outside of Caley. It does feel like there has to be more change than this. And that or at least has to be a guy, as he said, his leadership. There's a little bit of guys saying, all right, I'm gonna be the OC, but I do need to bring somebody or some people that I feel good about. There is no way to me that Nick Caley can come in here and say, yeah, that's the tight end coach I'm going to roll with. If you were a tight end coach your whole life and you watch on film and you saw what you saw from tight end, like, no disrespect, brother, I gotta get my guy in.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, to me, there is something to the thought of, hey, and sure, maybe there was a connection, but hey, man, before we even hire you as the OC, we're going to hire your offensive line coach. And that is clearly, that's the number one thing he was questioned about. Nick Caley, that was coming more than anything in the presser. And that, like, there's something to the fact of, it does feel like he's bringing in a coach that he has made a lot of decisions for him, and you just come in here and coach.
It's interesting.
That's the only thing that makes me check up.
Nobody wants CJ put in a system. You want to build a system around CJ, but you want to stick Nick Caley in a system.
Yeah.
It's okay for Caserio and DeMeco to just keep all these pieces around there and just plug Nick Caley in and go, hey man, go good luck, go get this, go do work with this group. But but CJ, it's interesting, man. Nick and DeMeco got an interesting way of hiring. It works on the defense side of the football because DeMeco's running obviously DeMeco is a elite alpha leader of men and a great play caller. But finding that elite alpha leader of men, great play caller on the offensive side of the football seems to be they've had a tough go at it so far. We'll see if Nick Caley can rise to the challenge.
Yeah, and they think highly of him, and I cannot wait to watch and see what things he brings to the table and how this thing looks. And I do, like I said, I think DeMeco can identify good coaches, and I think it's just a bit of the process of it. Like when you think about good coaches, the other part that comes to mind is, man, I'm gonna bring guys that I feel really good about.
But here's the deal: like like I agree with you. DeMeco and Nick are I mean, I would say on the elite side of hiring guys that cleats in the turf, sweating my ass off, leaving it all on the field coaching. Like I think that part of it, and that's part of the reason why the Texans are going to win this division. They're going to be a 9 or 10 win football team until DeMeco decides to hang it up, right? But again, the interesting thing is you've got to have more than that in a play caller. Like he's got to demand the respect of Bill Lazor and Gerard Johnson and Ben McDaniels and all these guys. He's got to demand the time, and even when you can't get the protection right and your quarterback's like you got to demand the respect of those guys. And it's clear Bobby may have been a damn rocket scientist with play. He may have been a genius with the playbook. But if you don't demand respect in them adverse times, everybody's going to turn on you, and it's going to get uglier and uglier and uglier. And that's obviously what happened with Bobby.